Welcome to a Vanguard news video without the bullshit. Let's get started. It's finally time to start panicking and telling all your friends that Vanguard is going to reboot a third time as Luard's ride line, supports, and first G unit were revealed for DSS-10. Dragsaver Esris is your typical D-series sentinel that will be sought after by all the simps who just wants to make their entire deck full of waifu cards. And yes, I'll be buying this deck set, just so I can finally replace my horse sentinels. Drag Prince Root is your typical D-series starter, that finally gives the female players a boy toy starter, that they can ara. Drag Wizard Knees is your typical D-series crest card generator, that will disappoint all the simps who used to like running her, because she's demoted to the ride deck. Drag Heart Luard's Crest is your typical stride deck crest card that's only different effectors. At the end of your turn, you can return up to one critical trigger from your drop zone to the bottom of your deck, if you strode this turn without paying the cost. And of course Bushiroad gave their favorite cash cow clan away, to recycle any critical triggers back, because effect triggers like Belial no longer exist. On a side note, Luard will be the only deck in standard that will let you keep banging your dream critical triggers over and over. Drag Wizard Liar fail when ridden over by a grade 3 Luard lets you pay 1 Soul Blast to draw a card. And while in your drop zone, while you're at Ritual 3, you can pay 1 discard when a grade 4 Luard is placed on Vanguard to call himself to rear guard. I'm beginning to suspect that all of the previous stride deck sets were afterthoughts, considering that Smoke Gear Dragon searches out a grade 3 unit card, whereas every other grade 2 stride deck set ride line just has some way to be called to rear guard. Drag Heart Luard, like every other stride deck set grade 3, doesn't really change from their G-series counterpart. Expect card speculators, I mean investors, to finally use their PSA 10 hot stamp slabs for something useful instead of showing how expensive it is. Preservation Angel while on rear guard or Guardian Circle, while you're at Ritual 3, gets the intercept ability and 5k shields. This card that will immediately be replaced by something better like Yellow Jeweled Beast Topaz. Luminosity Wizard while on rear guard, while you're at Generation Break 1 and Ritual 3, gets 10k power during the turn she was placed. And when she's retired during your turn, you can soul charge 1 card if you have a Dragheart Luard crest. Then give your Vanguard 5k power. It feels weird that Luard's key rear guard attacker isn't an encounter card. Was it so hard to bring back Blackwing Swordbreaker with a better skill? Salam Cloud's Dragon while on rear guard during your turn, while you're at Generation Break 2 and Ritual 3, gets 10k power. And when it would be discarded for striding, you draw a card. Luard players will have to decide if they want to stride for free and return a critical trigger, or do it the old-fashioned way, but they get to draw a card. Expect proxy playtesters to have their personal opinion after playing against someone on card fight area for 2 hours. Drag Driver Luard is a grade 4 G unit that can be strode by discarding cards with grades totaling 3 or higher. While on Vanguard, while you're at Ritual 3, you can pay 1 counter blast and flipping a card in your G zone face up when he attacks to call up to 1 unit card with the ritual ability from your deck. Another downgrade from the original, where it could call up to 3 cards. At least this one can call any card with the ritual ability, but then you would rather call a grade 1 unit anyway. Finally, for those not in the know, my channel had its partnership recently suspended, and I'm no longer earning ad revenue on my videos. While I still like to keep on creating content, I cannot do this purely on sheer fucking will. I need to eat. I'm currently exploring other forms of revenue streams and I can no longer promise any more content for the remainder of the year, unless my appeal gets approved. And that concludes this Vanguard news video. Be sure to subscribe and let me know in the comments how you're going to riot if this deck set doesn't get Blackwing Swordbreaker back.